We're talking IVF technology. We've got the latest news, market information, how to get your hands on some more Ranch It Up gear. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart.
And I'm Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, ranchchannel.com, Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing you Multimin 90 and Lactopro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients and Pharmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. Cow Country News, you know, the cow stuff.
Our first news story takes us to Colorado, where Colorado health officials have confirmed 10 human cases of avian flu, marking the largest outbreak of human bird flu infections in U.S. history. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, reported 11 cases of highly pathogenic avian influenza, H5N1, in humans since 2022, with 10 occurring this year. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment announced that 2 poultry farms in Weld County have birds infected with H5N1, with 3 confirmed cases at one farm and 6 at another. Another human case was detected in a dairy farm worker in that state. The state's health agency said the count is up to 47 infected herds in the state of Colorado. State and federal officials said the concern for the virus is still low due to the lack of person-to-person transmission. However, the latest scientific article on H5N1 avian influenza finds that the virus, which has forced the culling of tens of millions of birds on poultry farms since January 2022, can spread with relative ease among dairy cows, domestic cats, and even a raccoon. So far, no mutations have been found in the strain's genome that would allow the virus to spread more easily in humans, despite the clear transmissions between mammals. Since April 2022, public health authorities have confirmed 11 human cases from cattle and poultry farms, 7 of which occurred among workers involved in a cull this summer in response to a poultry outbreak in Colorado. Those human cases showed the same virus circulating in dairy herds, which suggests the poultry outbreak in that area was transmitted back to birds via local cows. Changing gears, let's look at the egg land market. According to Farmers National Company, the agricultural land market has been nothing short of exceptional during the past 5 years. Gains in value are common across all classes of land in every region of the country. Strong commodity markets, moderate interest rates, buyer demand, and an overall healthy agricultural economy have also supported the growth of land values during this time. Paul Shadegg, Senior Vice President of Real Estate Operations at Farmers National Company, says a lot has changed in the past 12 months and even more has changed within the past 5 years. He said moving into the second half of 2023 and the first half of 2024, we've experienced significant increases in interest rates, declining grain markets, and inflation. Despite these negative pressures, the land market has remained relatively resilient, but shows signs of settling in general, including single-digit decreases in specific areas. One aspect of the agricultural land market is the long-term appreciation of land value. Over the past 25 years, land values have experienced a stair-stepping trend following the ups and downs of the agricultural economy. As grain markets and farm profitability rose, the land markets followed while leveling off as markets and profitability did the same. Shadegg said each plateau has set a new value standard sustained through production, demand, and profitability. Shadegg went on to say that with farm operators being the largest segment of land buyers, the biggest impact on land values moving forward will be profitability in agriculture. If profit opportunities are limited, motivation to buy will decrease and subsequently pressure land values into a downward trend. For a more detailed analysis of each region of the country, be sure to check out the show notes at ranchitupshow.com. For the first time ever, the Stockmanship and Stewardship Tour will be hosted in Utah. Hosted at the Sevier County Fairgrounds near Richfield, Utah, attendees will experience 2 days of nothing but cattle talk, trade show, and great food. World-renowned animal handling experts will provide cattle handling demonstrations, both horseback and on foot. Events will also include a live steak cooking demonstration preceding one of the meals provided, several raffles, a panel segment with egg leaders of Utah, and a Q&A session with Congresswoman Celeste Malloy. For more information, we have the links available at ranchitupshow.com or head to stockmanshipandstewardship.org. I'm Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and that's a wrap of the news for the Ranch It Up radio show.
The Northern Livestock Video Auction Summertime Classic Sale offered 189,000 head of feeder cattle last week. The event held on July 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th witnessed robust demand for steer and heifer calves, drawing buyers from across the country. Now, the auctioneer Ty Thompson, he highlighted the demand for lightweight cattle from states like Montana, Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho. He said they just met with tremendous demand all the way through. He went on to say it didn't matter what the delivery dates were, and prices were notably higher than last year. The sale saw a significant narrowing of the price gap between steers and heifers. Yearlings from across the trade area fetched exceptionally high prices, especially those part of specific programs. Boom, program cattle, we talk about it all the time. Thompson went on to say they brought some extreme highs, and all of the lighter weight yearlings brought a real big price, unquote. Despite market predictions, Thompson went on to say that he observed that there is little evidence of heifer retention among ranchers, with many choosing to sell rather than hold back for breeding programs. Now, we have all of the weights and prices, including the full USDA market report, available in the show notes at ranchitupshow.com. And those heifers that Ty Thompson was referring to, those 8.5 to 9 weight heifers, brought in between 227 and 267.5. Time for a quick break. When we come back, we're talking in vitro fertilization. The Ranch It Up radio show will be back after this. Have y'all tried livestockmarket.com yet? We have updates each and every week, brought to us by auctiontime.com. We're all familiar with that one. Try livestockmarket.com. And don't forget, for all your equine needs, head to equinemarket.com. It's time now to start adding value to those Gelbvieh and Balancer calves. The American Gelbvieh Association offers a wide variety of DNA tests and delivers its members and customers tools for success within the beef industry. You owe it to yourself by going to gelbvieh.org. Want to add just a little bit of spice to your event, your customer appreciation supper, your banquet, your meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Well, bring in us, Beck and I, as your keynote speakers, hosts, MCs, a host couple. We'll make them laugh, even cry tears of joy. Call us today. Producers, pay attention now. Are you ready to take your herd to the next level? Discover Transova Genetics. As the leader in advanced reproductive technologies, Transova offers services like embryo transfer, IVF, and genetic preservation. Enhance your herd's genetics, increase productivity, and achieve your breeding goals with the expert team from Transova Genetics. Visit transova.com today and unlock your herd's full potential. Transova Genetics, leading the way in animal reproduction. A lot of you have been using ranchchannel.com to select your new herd sires. Well, coming soon, feeder and live cattle markets, corn, wheat, and bean futures, all at ranchchannel.com. And don't forget, lots of upcoming sales. Just head to ranchchannel.com.
Cattle battle.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up radio show, the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find. It's your all things ranching newscast, and so glad to be hanging out with y'all. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, rants, it doesn't matter. You can call or text 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. You can email us, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. What is IVF? In vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization is the process of creating embryos from oocytes, unfertilized egg cells, by fertilizing them with semen in a Petri dish. Now, yes, this is kind of the ultimate of technology. Oocytes are first collected from ovaries of donors by ultrasound-guided follicular aspiration. Sounds like a lot. They are then matured in a Petri dish and fertilized about 20 to 24 hours later. Now, conventionally, sexed semen or reverse sorted semen may be used for fertilization. Oocytes then develop in an incubator for 7 days, at which point the resulting viable embryos are transferred into recipients. It sounds like a lot, but it is technology that we are using in today's day and age for a lot of reasons. How can this benefit my operation? Well, that is a long conversation, but let's start by introducing our new partner, Transova Genetics. Transova has more locations to help producers across the country than one may think and realize. Emily Warnemont is the Director of Industry Relations at Transova Genetics. Emily, thanks for coming on the program. We will get an introduction to IVF technology in just a few minutes, but first, there have been some new additions, or I should say locations, to Transova facilities.
We have a brand new lab in Lawrenceville, Georgia, just near Atlanta, and then Twin Falls, Idaho, brand new lab just went up here in the last year. And we are about to hit our 70th satellite center, which will probably meet here in the next month.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea that there was 70 satellite centers for Transova out there.
I mean, we're bound determined to provide IVF services closer to producers wherever they're at. There's a lot of holes in the map yet that we're trying to reach, but we got a great team behind us that's working on it.
So it's obvious that when you're expanding like that, you've got 70 satellites, you have two brand new locations that opened up, that not only are producers receptive to genetic advancement, to IVF protocol, but they're actually saying this is something we need. You're not just telling us this story of we've got this new stuff. This is something that makes us dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the quote that we've really talked about this week, if you're not using it, that's fine, but you're going to have to compete with people that are using the technology. So what are you going to do to keep up with them? It's through IVF.
So let's talk about that. People competing that are using the technology. So give me a scenario. Well, I guess one not using it is one scenario. So then give me the other scenario of practical application of somebody using this that can move them ahead of their quote unquote competition.
Well, I think if you identify a donor pool within your herd that's high performing, elite, checks all the boxes for you, how are you going to make more of those cows in a short amount of time with the top bulls? If you're genomic testing, how are you going to maximize those genetics at a quicker pace? And that's through IVF. One straw of semen is going to cover 5 to 6 donors, and that you're basically maximizing your spend there.
One of the exciting things when we talk about genomics and really identifying, this is what's been interesting, is most people that I talk to, be it if it is commercially, say they're testing all their cows, and there's a lot of people going that way, or if it is on a seed stock side, what they thought they had was not at all what they had. And it's really been able to identify strengths and weaknesses. Strengths is great, but I think identifying those weaknesses and removing that bottom third per se. And when you start adding technology like this, I mean, talk about quicker, faster, but taking that guesswork and crossing your fingers, right? I mean, AI is wonderful, but we're still crossing our fingers. I hope that she gets bred.
Right, exactly. And I think through IVF, you're gonna pick out those top donors, and you're gonna keep multiplying those genetics at a quicker pace. The low end, let's use those as recips, and put your embryos in. That way, you're calving out more of those genetics in a year. And if you're not sure, I think what we always tell people is start with your goals. What are you trying to get at? Are you making bulls? Are you making heifers? Are you just trying to sell beef? Let's start there and work out on what your genetic goals are and how we can help you. And anybody on our team would be happy to help you to kind of figure that stuff out.
So that was going to be my next question, Emily, is would you come in and honestly bring this down to a cowboy level and really hold my hand and start with square one and go back and look at data and honestly give me as many recommendations as somebody can to start to move to. I've used this analogy here the last few years of move to that point in the pyramid, because I know, you know how it is. It's hard to ask for help sometimes because we want to be knowledgeable in what we're doing, but will somebody really sit down with us and really create a tailor-made program just for me, and give me advice of, okay, use this, you know, if you're using, say, Allied Genetic Resources, you know, pick these bulls over here to be able to do this. Is your team able to do that with all of this wonderful technology that we have and really, really, really pinpoint and make it palatable for me?
Yeah, 100%. I think the neat thing about Transova and our team is that the majority of us come from a cattle background in some form. And if we didn't, we all have the passion for our industry and the cattle business. So the best part of this job is sitting down with producers and talking cattle.
That's the fun part, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we're in this business. So anybody on our team, we've got a great sales team that they go out and they talk to producers every day about how they can implement embryo transfer, IVF, flushing, cloning, all the things to get them to their ultimate goal of success. I mean, we're so passionate, and we want to make everybody succeed and reach their goals. And, you know, if we don't have the answers, we're going to find them for you.
Well, your team, like you said, is so vast. It's actually, a team is a good word. I've referred to it before as a resource library because of the diverse backgrounds, and not just the backgrounds, but the experience that people have within the team, per se, the network of Transova, and how y'all have expanded so much and covering all of these different areas, because environmentally it's different, climate is different, all of those other factors, grass is different. So that's one of the beauties, in my opinion, of Transova, is the fact that you reach all these little nooks and crannies, even though you said we're just not covered quite, but awful darn close. I mean, you're in all the different nooks and crannies, but you're in the nooks and crannies with people that have experience in that area, and in exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah, so the other unique thing about Transova is we still have original employees that started with us when the company was formed 43 years ago. Dr. David Faber is still our CEO. He's looking to transition to a new role, and we'll have a new CEO probably by the end of the year. I mean, and we still have our first employee through Diane Brook, who heads up our cloning division. We just have a multitude of different people and backgrounds, and like you said, we've got people coast to coast that understands the climate that they're working in, the people that are there, so that you're not calling and, you know, I'm in Ohio, I'm not going to know how to raise a Brahmin down south, but I can get you in contact with somebody that does.
Emily Warnemont with Transova Genetics. Now, we will have more on IVF technology, the cost analysis of it, practical use, and clients that are taking advantage of this technology over the next few weeks. Now, coming up, we're going to be talking markets. We'll have your next chance to get your hands on some Ranch It Up gear after the break. Keep it locked right here in the Ranch It Up Radio Show. We'll be back. Looking for the best way to raise healthy, productive beef? Try Westway Feed Products. Westway's liquid supplements boost forage utilization, efficiency, and sustainability, ensuring faster weight gain and better health. Visit westwayfeed.com or call 800-800-7517. Westway Feed Products, raising the bar in beef production. Breeding season is here, and maybe you haven't made all of your decisions yet. Maybe you're fixing to AI some cows or some heifers. Turn to Allied Genetic Resources. Top quality semen from elite bulls. With over 50,000 head marketed annually, turn to Allied Genetic Resources. For years now, I've been telling you all about Pharmatan from Imogene Ingredients. Well, it's time to make the change and add Pharmatan to your cow's diet, to your calf's diet. Get that boost in health and increase feed efficiency. It all starts with nutrition, so add Pharmatan.
Cattle market reports to various news stories. The Tri-State Livestock News covers it all. Check us out at tsln.com. Subscriptions or advertising, call Tracy Hawk at 406-951-3211. The Tri-State Livestock News, what ranchers read.
RanchChannel.com. I know many of you have used it to search for your next herd sires. RanchChannel.com. You used it, you loved it. If you haven't gone to it, you need to. Coming soon, market information. Yep, feeder cattle, live cattle futures, corn, wheat, and beans, updated every 10 minutes. at your fingertips. Plus, the additions of products and services, management tips, that information that you've been wanting, and again, all at your fingertips. It's your Farm and Ranch Network on demand, ranchchannel.com. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ranch It Up radio show. It is that time of the program we check in with Kirk Donsbach with StoneX Financial Incorporated, recapping the markets from last week. So, Kirk, how are you? What's going on? The numbers.
I'm very good, Tigger, and hello to all your listeners out there. As of Friday, July 26th, August feeders closed the week at 259.20. That's up 380 on the week, with the CME feeder index at 258.84. That's down 34 cents on the week. The combined narrowed the basis to a negative 86 cents. August live cattle closed the week at 188.52.5. That's up 562.5 on the week, as nearby futures raced to catch cash, which saw 188 early in the south and then 190 late. The north traded 198 late. That all left the 5-area weighted average down 1 at 193.13, with the basis narrowing to a positive 455. Weekly slaughter came in at 600,000 head. That's up 16,000 head over last week and 16,000 head lower than the same week last year. Choice boxes closed the week at 313.77. That's down 6 cents on the week. To wrap this all up, December corn closed the week at 410. That's up 4.5 cents on the week.
How's your relationship with your neighbors? Hey, I'm Shay, and I'm the host of the Casual Cattle Conversations podcast. I sat down with Keith Burns to discuss not only the benefits of planting and grazing cover crops, but also how to build relationships with neighbors and landlords. Here's a highlight of our conversation.
One of the big ones is you have to stop thinking about success in terms of production. How many bushels did I raise? How many pounds did I wean? And start thinking of it in terms of profitability. How profitable was I in what I did here? Because, with cover crops, when cover crops are integrated into a management system properly, it should reduce your overall inputs. Now, will that reduce your yield? Not necessarily. It doesn't have to, but in some situations it might. But if it's increasing your profitability, who really cares if it's reducing your yield? Because that's a mindset shift of getting out of being able to go to the coffee shop and brag about growing the biggest wheat yield or weaning weights or corn yield or whatever that is, and getting to the point of talking about, this was one of the more profitable years that we had because our inputs were so much less.
Listen to the full story by searching for Casual Cattle Conversations on your favorite podcast player. Happy ranching, folks.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
All right, it is time for the What's Your Beef trivia. And last week the question was, what was the question? What valuable drug do we get from the pancreas of cattle? The answer is
Insulin.
You got it. And congratulations. We actually grabbed 2 winners on this one because literally the time code came in at about the exact same time. So congratulations goes out to Matt from Kansas City, Missouri. You've got Swag coming your direction, and Greg in Wichita Falls, Texas. You've got Swag coming your direction as well. So, okay, we will have question number, I don't even know what this is, 3?
All I know is we're going to do it again. And by the way, if you've been wondering what the Ranch It Up swag looks like, you can head to ranchitup.us, do some shopping there if you'd like to, or get your orders in now for Christmas in case you're wanting that Florida cow whip.
Great idea.
Just saying, I know how fast Tigger can get those put out, but the sooner the better, all right?
No, don't say how fast I can do braiding, because I don't want everybody to wait until a week before Christmas and I get 1,000 emails saying, can you braid me this whip? So yes, that actually is a good plug. If you are wanting a custom, my version, a hybrid Florida cow whip, if you're wanting that for a gift, get a hold of me sooner than later so I can get it on the calendar to make sure that you get it in time for whatever celebration it is. Okay.
All right, so here's the dealio. We're going to do a giveaway again. Tigger's got a question for y'all. When you respond, you can call or text. The phone number is
707-726-2420. It's 707 Ranch 20.
Or you can email
ranchitupshow@gmail.com. You have to have ranchitupshow@gmail.com.
And make sure along with your answer that you're including the size. We're going to give away another t-shirt this week, so include the size of t-shirt you would like. They're a unisex shirt, by the way, and then also, your name and your mailing address.
Perfect. Okay, so here is this week's question. This has to do with the Ranch It Up radio show history, okay? What event in May do Beck and I always attend? We do a lot of coverage on it. We have interviews about it. We have recaps about it. What are some hints we can give out there?
Well, along with it, it is also considered the world's famous blank horse sale. I almost gave it away.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so again, we will take the first correct answer. You can either text us, you can call us, you can leave a message, you can email us. We get the time code on there so we know exactly when everybody's answers come in. So good luck.
All right, like we said, call or text right now. That number?
707-RANCH-20.
And the email address?
I almost forgot. ranchitupshow@gmail.com.
And if you want to do some looking at our swag right now, head to ranchitup.us.
And now that is going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours, starting out with Emily Warnemont from Transova Genetics, Shay Warner with Casual Cattle Conversations, Kirk Donsbach with StoneX Financial Incorporated, and the boss lady, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
Thank you to our partners, ranchchannel.com, Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing you Multimin 90 and Lactopro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Galvy Association, Imogene Ingredients, Pharmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources, Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. We're actually getting close to our 200th episode is coming up soon. Be sure to follow and like us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com. We've said that many times, and you can call and text us 24/7 at 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger and Beck approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.